It's been months since I talked about this damn thing. Anyways, hi, my name is Morphsuit America, and in this video, title thumbnail should give it away. Should you play Phantasy Star Online 2 Oracle in 2022? Now, I'll briefly explain what Oracle is for a few seconds. If you want to get right into this video, look in the description for that time skip. So, Oracle is pretty much a fancy way of saying it is the game from 2012 to 2021. So pretty much what you're seeing on the screen right now. So this is base old PSO2. Now, if you're playing PSO2 right now in 2021, or well, 2022, or at the end of 2021, then you were playing on Oracle. There's a few perks to you playing on Oracle, but when it comes to you getting back to Oracle, you can do it through the Ryoko devices, through the blocks, or through the menu. Obviously, you would need to do a couple of the story missions from New Genesis to actually get to the point where you can go back to Oracle, but that's how you do it. Now, let's get to the meat of this video and let me talk about why you would want to play Oracle in 2022, not 21. Before I go any further, though, note that this is optional. This is not mandatory. This is up to you to decide if you want to do it. There is a huge thing that you would want to do, because if you're free to play, you don't want to spend as much. This approach would most likely help you. But other than that, it is still up to you to figure out. It is up to you to figure out if you would want to still go back to Oracle and play it. There's a lot more cons. It's not going to hurt you as much, but there's some things to note, and I'll stress it later in the video. So, there are different currencies back in Oracle, and there are different currencies over there in New Genesis. However, the two that will actually transfer over from Oracle to New Genesis is pretty much your ACs, your ARCs cash, which is the cash currency, and then Stargens, which is another cash currency, but you can actually earn this in-game. So it's this little thing right here with the diamond shape, rainbow with the S on it. I have 335. Now, in Oracle, you got this title counter thing. Now, I don't know if they added that over there in New Genesis. They might have. I've been out of the loop. I haven't been updated with what's going on in New Genesis as much. But this thing right here can give you a good chunk of rewards. And the big thing is they do reward you star gems if you hit certain requirements. I know that the big one you would want to do is the story stuff, because the story stuff is going to give you lots of star gems if you go through it. If you do it on hardcore mode, and if you get S rank as well, you get an extra bonus to it. But if you just play a good chunk of the game, especially for Oracle, you can get these rewards and you can get the star gems. Guess what? The star gems can transfer once again to New Genesis, and you can use that currency to get a bunch of free stuff or get other things like extra storage and all that. So once again, to display what I have in terms of my currencies, you'll see it right there in the upper left. 3,000 ACs, 335 star gems, the 305k fun points, and the 148,000 Meseta. That's not going to transfer over. It's going to be a different number when I transfer over to New Genesis. So let's go over to New Genesis. But other than that, when it comes to you going back to Oracle, other than that incentive and bonus, it's entirely up to you if you want to explore what Oracle was, what the functions were, how you go about the game, the different mechanics, the old accessories and outfits and all that. Exploring the lore and the story, going through all the different characters, doing their side missions. That is entirely up to you. Just note that I'm going to stress this out heavily right now while this is loading. The stuff that you use in Oracle may not be in New Gen. Well, all the stuff that you get in Oracle, you can transfer it to New Genesis. Like the outfit I'm using and all that, that can transfer over. However, there's a big thing to note when it comes to you using some of the old stuff and going into the new stuff. And I'll stress on those little small things in a bit. But as you can see, my star gems did transfer over, my ACs transfer over, but my Meseta is different. This is new Meseta. It's not like the old Meseta back in PSO2. And apparently there's a good chunk of players, but I guess it's because of the quest. Well, then again, I'm playing on JP, so it's a bit different on all blocks and all that. If I look at the blocks... What the fuck? Did it condense it even further? Huh. Huh. There were a lot more blocks than this. Anyways, going back to base PSO2 or Oracle. But I'll demonstrate what I'm referring to. So the big thing to note is that the stuff you can get at Oracle, it's fine. You can most likely try to get most of it over there to New Genesis. It's just that depending on what you're doing, it may be obsolete. For example, when it comes to the equipment you are using over here in Oracle, it can be used in New Genesis. It has different sort of stats though and requirements. However, the max rarity you can bring from Oracle to New Genesis is like a grade 4, which is not the highest grade right now as of this recording because of the new release. Right now, it's the 5 stars that are actually better. And because of that, all the stuff that you do in Oracle may not translate well in New Genesis. And obviously, you would want to get the better gear from New Genesis to play on New Genesis. Obviously, you can use said gear on Oracle and keep said gear on Oracle, but once again, it will not translate well to New Genesis. When it comes to some other little gimmicks that you may want to be aware of, it's the outfits and the lobby actions and some other little cosmetic New Genesis functions that you may want to keep tabs on. For example, if I can remember half of these lobby actions that I have, that I own, there's one that I have that's, I think it's this one. No, it shouldn't be that one. Actually, it should be that one, but it should be a different one. As I look through this, fuck. I just don't remember these damn things. I hate how it's different. PR pose. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Of course, that expensive one lobby action that I really want. That would have done a lot for it. So, air quotes. Now, air quotes is when you do something like this. I'm doing on my face camera. As you can see, with the base outfit, it can do the lobby action, but you don't really see the New Genesis perk to it because it's not with an actual New Genesis outfit. And just to, I forgot how to navigate through this. Let me zoom in a bit more. So as you can see, not really doing the air quotes. However, if I decide to swap my fashion to something that is New Genesis like, and that thing is actually covering it. So this is a New Genesis outfit. Note that this outfit was also back in base PSO2, but there's the New Genesis version of this, and then there's the Oracle version of it. So if I do that same emote again, you will see the fingers being involved. As you can see, the fingers actually move, which is a nice little quirk bonus to it. But that's the thing. A lot of the Oracle lobby actions can't incorporate that. Obviously, you can use some old Oracle emotes with the New Genesis outfit. So I can still use my Freedom War lobby action, and there's not going to be a huge issue with it. But if you want to use some New Genesis stuff with an Oracle outfit, it's not going to work out as well. So, note that also, if you do get some stuff in Oracle that's on the player market, there's a... I can't say it's a slim chance. There might be a chance. I don't know how big or small it is, but there might be a chance that they may revamp it to New Genesis. Because if you look at some of the scratches, they did pull some of the Oracle outfits and upgraded them, revamped them into a New Genesis look. So the outfit that I had previously before I swapped into this one, the one that barely has any sort of clothes on her, this one, yeah, this is not a New Genesis outfit. This is an Oracle outfit. And not only that, when it comes to certain other aspects too, you can only use like, I think you can still use New Genesis accessories on an Oracle outfit, and then vice versa. Actually, no, I don't think it's vice versa. There's a lot of small little nitty-gritty things I can explain in a separate video. But yeah, pretty much that's it when it comes to you going into Oracle. The big one is that you would want to try to stock up on these star gems and just do it, so you can have that currency so you can avoid paying as much. Now, it's entirely up to you on how to do it, but that's the big thing. Other than that, everything else is on your it's at your discretion. If you want to do it because you want to do it, go ahead. If you want to do it for the story, go ahead. If you want to do it because you want to see what Oracle was back in 2012 to 2021 because you didn't play it, you were in the New Genesis era, then go ahead and do it. But yeah, if you have any question, comment, concerns, put it down below. I'm going to go a bit into a slight rant and just give you guys my opinions and complaints about how they just killed off Oracle. Now, I get it. They want to focus entirely on New Genesis. You want to move on. But at the same time, I feel like they kind of waste an opportunity or a way to keep their players to be active. Or just have active players because, as you can see, especially since I'm on the JP servers and I'm on ship 2, no one's playing this game as much. One of the blocks is filled up, and as you saw earlier with the New Genesis, that surprised me because I didn't notice it. There's not as many blocks anymore, so it's a shame that they killed this off. I feel like in terms of what they could have done, they could have prolonged this a tiny bit, add more events still, do a bit of fun quirks here and there. Yes, obviously, once again, they want to move on, but at the same time, look at some other MMORPGs that are out there that make sure to keep their stuff relevant, or at least have the players do some stuff in all different aspects. If they're new, if they're not new, make it friendly, make it replayable. But that's what SEGA didn't do as much, because right now, especially if you were in that era where you were like up to date and you did everything in Oracle, and then now you're in New Genesis, you're kind of stuck with just New Genesis because you went through all the content. There's nothing replayable to do, especially if you did all of your benchmarks, your goals, your accomplishments. Have I actually completed everything in Oracle? Hell no, I have not. Even though I've been playing this game for years, I have not completed the goddamn story. And guess what? That is something that I can still do even now. But the thing is, it will get to a point where I hit that brick wall, and then there will be a point where I'll just be exhausted with PSO2 Oracle, and then there's nothing else to do because they cut off the life support from this game. Now, once again, you might want to focus entirely on New Genesis because that's the up-to-date, the new thing. And I wouldn't blame you, because the way that Sega's doing it is just that they'd be pumping a lot of stuff in New Genesis compared to that of Oracle. And once again, a lot of the stuff in Oracle is kind of obsolete because you can't really transfer half of the stuff that you earn here to Oracle. There's ways around it, most likely, but it's just that that's pretty much it. Oracle's not getting as much updates. A lot of people aren't doing as many quests, and it sucks. I wish that they didn't do it, and especially for global, I feel like they just rushed through it all, and not as many people really enjoyed it. But that's just my opinion. Maybe some people were able to get through almost all of the content, and this will vary because, once again, it just depends on who you are and how much time you got and what you actually did in the game. But now we got New Genesis, and it's like no one wants to touch Oracle as much. I mean, I'll still play it. I'll still stream it every now and then, but yeah. And in terms of like you going through the content now, I don't think it's as hard as anymore. I feel like, from what some people told me, they nerfed some of the difficulties, so it's actually soloable. In terms of getting the best gear in Oracle, you don't need to really worry about that gimmick anymore, that sort of mindset, because you don't really need to have the best gear to go through the game. Yeah, it's just Oracle got its life support cut off, and I don't like it. But then again, it depends on your viewpoint and your opinions and what you personally did. For me, I didn't complete everything, but if someone was active throughout all 9 years of like Oracle, then they might have burned through almost everything, and there's really not much that they can do. And I mean, it's not bad that New Genesis has different mechanics and perks now, and it's not as grind heavy like Oracle used to be, or like any other old Phantasy stars were, but it kind of has its benefits and its negatives when it comes to that sort of approach as well. But that's for a different video. Anyways, that is it. I'm gonna upload this video as it is, just cause, once again, if you have any question, comment, concerns, put it down below. Been a while since I even touched this game. Will I actually get back into it? I might give it some time, because I already heard like how people played the new content. They're already done with it. And I'm like, oh, I feel like if I actually devote a good chunk of my time to the content, I'm just gonna get through most of it, and then I'm gonna be stuck farming and grinding again. And do I really want to do that? I don't know. in terms of how I feel about MMORPGs nowadays, it's like, it's not appealing to me as much. There's only 2 games that are on my list to play, if they ever come out. But until then, I think PS2 will be that one game, and then maybe another MMORPG, but other than that, I don't think I'll be exploring any other MMORPG. Unless some pal of mine really pushes me to play it with them, but that is it. Thank you guys for watching once again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.